everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Tamara, and today for this Adulting 101 video, I'm going to give you guys some budgeting tips. Now, in my last video, I talk about the hardships of adulting, and one of the biggest hardships about adulting is this whole financial crisis. And in that video, I did promise that I would make a video about budgeting tips, so here we are. So hopefully you can learn a thing or two in this short video. So with that being said, let's get started. So the very first budgeting tip I have for you guys is simply couponing. Couponing is so easy nowadays. Like, it's just so easy nowadays. You don't have to like flip through newspapers or anything, or even take the time to cut coupons out. You don't have to do that anymore. Literally all you have to do is make a list of all the stores that you shop at, download their apps, and in their apps they literally have coupons that you can just click virtually. So every app does look different. Like for an example, the Walgreens app does look different from the Food Lion app. So I'm gonna just use the Food Lion app for an example. So basically what I do in the Food Lion app, I just go in there, click on the coupons that I want, and they're automatically uploaded to my MVP card. So when I go to check out, all I gotta do is scan my MVP card on my phone and boom, all done. Now, it is important to note that not every store offers coupons, because I was really surprised when I found out Walmart, for an example, does not offer coupons. So before you try to go in and like download the apps or whatever, make sure that your store does offer coupons. Budgeting tip number 2, if possible, stick to one method of payment and then use another. So this is the budget binder that I have. This is where like all my dollar bills are stored. And in my closet somewhere, I have a change jar. So that's usually where I put all my change at. And then every now and then I'll go to my bank or whatever and like cash in all my change to put the dollar bills in here. And the reason why I do this is because for me personally, I don't like using cash when I shop, because I feel like it's so limited, you know? Because I don't want to ever have to worry about like, oh my gosh, should I bring enough cash with me? And this method personally is better for me because I know for a fact I'm not going to touch this cash unless it's an emergency. So budget tip number 3 is a budgeting notebook. I was really humbled once I saw how much I spent in different areas each month. So basically with this budgeting notebook, you pretty much just want to track your spending. And if you want to, you can also plan your spending for the next week or month or so. Some expenses you want to take into account is how much you spend on food, how much you pay in rent maybe, or your mortgage, how much you pay for your insurance, whatever, how much you pay for your phone bills. Subscriptions is another big one. Like, I know it can be very humbling and sad looking at how much you actually spend each month, but it can actually help motivate you to cut back on some things. Like, there were a couple of subscriptions I canceled, and there are times too where I tell myself, okay, maybe I shouldn't be eating out as much. So yeah, but it can just definitely help motivate you to stay on track. So tip number 4, this is actually more so for your credit rather than budgeting. Well, it can't count as budgeting depending on how you see it, but do not spend more than what you know you can pay back the next month. For an example, if you're going to spend $400 on your credit card and you know by next month you cannot pay that $400 back, please, if you can, try to avoid spending that much money. For the sake of your credit, you really don't want to mess up your credit. It's very important to make those payments on time. And if you know you're not going to have that money by that next month, just don't make that payment. Save yourself. Save yourself. So budgeting tip number 5, many of you guys probably heard of this, but the 50-30-20 rule. If you haven't heard of it, basically what it is 50% of your paycheck goes towards necessities, 30% of your paycheck goes towards your wants, and then 20% of your paycheck goes towards savings. And if you want to, you can actually switch up the percentages. For an example, you could do 60-20-20 for an example. You don't have to necessarily do 50-30-20. Just do whatever works for you. And finally, budgeting tip number 6, find cheaper alternatives. I think a lot of people forget you don't always have to go for the name brand product. For an example, like you don't always have to go with, like, if you're going grocery shopping, you don't have to buy like the actual brand of Kellogg's anything. For an example, like if you gotta buy off-brand cereal, buy off-brand cereal. If you have to buy off-brand Pop-Tarts, buy off-brand Pop-Tarts. And even if some of these items are like 50 cents cheaper, that's still something. Go for that cheaper item, you know, because in my last video I talked about how the Dollar Tree turned into a $1.25 tree, and I keep telling people, like, I don't care what anyone says, those 25 cents be adding up, y'all. However, if you're buying stuff such as kitchen appliances, you probably want to go for the more expensive items, only because those are usually better quality, because you don't want to buy something that's cheaper and poor quality, then it breaks or whatever, then you have to keep buying stuff and keep buying stuff. It's better to just pay for the expensive item that's good quality. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I want you actually to leave a comment on your favorite tip. So thank you, and I'll see you next time. Bye! I'm in London. I like to go and shop at the mall, shop at the Prada, shop at the store, shop in the drop and store.